Good afternoon, and welcome to the Lummy Sports Show. I'm Brian, the babyface Matroni, joined always by the very controversial Lummy Lummox Warren Garrison and the filthy Ginger Rhett.
Hello, Brian.
How are you, Lummy?
I'm doing fabulous, Brian. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Rhett, you doing good over there, DeFilthy?
Yeah, buddy. Been a productive day today at the BRN.
Well, that's good. You got a lot of stuff up on YouTube?
Yeah, I feel like we're good. I got a couple shorts ready to go. Gary's been helping out a ton too.
Now, Brian,
So just trying to get stuff scheduled out for the weekend.
do you ever check out our YouTube with all our new shorts and everything?
Yeah, I saw you balling out, playing basketball. You made this incredible, clearly not edited trick shot.
With 2 cameras set up.
Which was, obviously, it's high production quality. You can't get that everywhere.
I'm glad you appreciated it.
Yeah, it was really good. So amazing. The slow motion stuff was better. When you actually started doing things full speed dunking, it was pathetic. But in slow motion, it actually, even though it was only a 6.5 foot hoop or whatever you had,
it was higher than
it was
that.
8.
7?
It was set at what was it, 9 foot?
Yeah, it was 8.5.
I question that, but it looked 7 feet.
No, it's still set up out there.
I think you could grab it from the ground. With your hand, your wrist over the rim.
Listen, I just played in what the rules were given to me at that time.
Hey, listen, you're a baller, man. You just play with the rules of the game. I get it.
20-inch blades.
I just didn't know if you saw any of the shorts with all the little different wrestling stories, but I'm glad that you caught up on that basketball video, though.
Yeah, that was the one that I saw, if I'm being honest.
Well, thank you. Well, we got a lot of, Brian wasn't here last week. He unfortunately missed out with our guest that we had on.
Decap?
Yeah.
Oh, man, what a bummer.
He talks a lot of Yankees. Giants.
Oh, yeah? Did he bring a lot of sports knowledge? Was he good for the show? What was the consensus?
He's got his mind made up. I would say the consensus with the lovely chat is never have him on again.
I would say having a sports conversation with Decap is kind of like scrolling on Twitter, to where it's like, less than 120 or so characters, kind of just one take after the other, not a whole lot of depth to the discussion, just kind of here's a thought.
Kind of very superficial stuff. I gotcha.
I mean, I will say that to a degree, every time we asked him a question, he had an answer.
He did have an answer.
Once you kind of pressed him on a topic,
he shut down.
After that surface level knowledge wore out, it was just kind of like you could tell he was deflecting a little bit.
We're talking about Decap or Tyler?
Decap.
Oh, if you remember the old shows with Tyler, man, it was like pulling teeth, wasn't it, Lummy?
Yes. He didn't really.
He's a sweetheart. I love Tyler, but man, he did not just jump in on anything. You had to literally say, "What do you think about that, Tyler?"
Well, we had to do that a couple of times with Decap. Where we would say, like, what do you think about Heupel with Tennessee?
Well, he wouldn't pick up on cues.
Yeah, he would just sit there and we're like, Decap. He's not that good of a coach, and the quarterback, the Tennessee's only good because of the quarterback. And then you kind of bring up facts that Heupel, has been, a good coach on a lot of places he's been, and he just kind of goes, well, I don't know. He's not good. So that was pretty much his argument.
Okay.
But we can move on from that. We had a lot of exciting things happen in college football.
Yeah.
I mean, we can stay local and say Jeff Scott got fired.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that.
What do you think of those John Gruden rumors? Right, we're talking about it.
What they are right now. They're complete and total bullshit put out there by his friends in the media, certain individuals that he has an ongoing relationship with and a cozy relationship with, like J.P. Peterson, who is totally notorious for this. Throwing out sources and not having anything at all to back it up. And kind
of a trust me bro approach.
Always with the stadium talk stuff,
Yeah.
although he is friends with Ken Hagan, but that doesn't go anywhere. With the Gruden thing, I think it was coordinated with Gruden and his friends in the media to just test the waters, get my name out there again. Let's see what the reaction is to it, and let's start this process, which is going to be a 2 or 3 year, 4 year project of rehabilitating his name and seeing where he could possibly ultimately find something. There is I'm not going to say a 0, but I'm going to say a less than 2%
Wow.
chance.
Okay, so you're saying there's a chance.
Well, anything can happen, right? But there's just no way. I think it's more likely that Jim Leavitt comes back to USF than that John Gruden is on their sidelines.
Now, I thought there was something in his deal that he signed that he was not allowed to be employed by USF
well,
anymore.
guess what they can do with deals, Lummy?
They can
change them. Especially
That's
if both
true.
parties agree to it, So he absolutely could come back.
But do you think they would do that? Because I know it was Judy and she's gone, but I thought the board of directors, the ones that voted on it too, are still there.
I think he is the perfect candidate for right now, quite honestly, in this landscape. He's done it before here where he's had success.
Yeah, but not with the nil, though.
No, not with the nil, but the conference is also downgrading. I mean, 3 of the top teams are going to be gone in next season. So, and the teams that they're replacing with are not the same caliber. A few of them are decent, but it's not UCF, Cincy, and Houston coming back in. I'll tell you that.
And I think, honestly, when you compare, just for the sake of conversation, Gruden to a coach like Leavitt, the status quo is so different between both of them because, if Gruden comes in, people are going to go to the games. People are going to be talking about USF, and it's going to be a PR nightmare, but they're going to make that shit happen anyways. So, it'll get people talking about the program, but if you bring back Leavitt, they talk about the program in such a different light. And just the way that guy operated as a head coach, Lummy, you're familiar. You guys are well aware of how he ran that ship over there.
Yeah.
I just feel like it would be much more of a... I guess for optics, much more of a romantic reunion. You know what I mean? Because Gruden at this point, people are going to grill him for taking any job he can get.
And the nostalgia, you're right. The nostalgia of Leavitt. Also, though, the track record. Look, Gruden isn't known for making young talent great.
Never, ever. I mean,
and so him as a college coach,
he hates young quarterbacks.
Him as a college coach, I just don't see it. Leavitt. For all of his faults, whatever your opinion may be of him, he could look at 105 guys standing in a room together and identify which ones were going to go out there and give him every bit that they could. And that he always got the most out of his team. And sometimes he took too much from them, right? And the depth and issues caught up by the end of the year and things of that nature. But what he did at USF was nothing short of a miracle, coming from absolutely nothing to number 2 in the nation in a BCS conference, beating marquee teams on the road. It was a different time, yes, but at the same time, I think he absolutely knows the formula to win here.
Yeah, but I mean, you could look back at 813-90 BUBBA 813-90 Bubba. I mean, you could look back though. And say it was a different time when Jim Leavitt was here. The conference isn't as sexy. And I know he brought it up, but I mean he was using that Big East.
Not at first, so not when he
no, that's what I'm saying.
Brought the team up.
Yeah, but he was bringing it. He was bringing it along. I mean, even when he was in the Big East for a little bit, it got a little stale.
Yeah, well, I mean,
he started having a lot of 8-4 seasons.
I've seen the names bandied about. The other names, you've got, Willie Simmons, you've got
Tom Herman,
maybe Scott Frost.
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be due diligence to at least give him a call, right?
I think so. My problem with Willie Simmons is that it's a lot different coaching in FCS versus FBS. So to me, the coach at Toledo looks like an interesting option. I think he has Robert Weiner on his staff, who was the former coach of Plant here locally in Tampa, and has a lot of high school connections more than anybody else.
No big Rob Weiner.
And so I think they can go a bunch of different directions. Selfishly, for my nostalgic purposes, I would prefer Leavitt, but I'm going to support whoever they end up hiring, and as a good alumnus and looking for whoever it is to succeed. I wanted Jeff Scott to succeed. Look, he knocks off Florida and he knocks off Cincy, and we're not having this conversation at all, irrespective of what happened in the other games. He had a lot going against him with COVID. He just wasn't up to the task of overcoming that as a coach. He wasn't ready for that type of deficit to be thrown in his way, that type of roadblock to be thrown in his way early on. He was never able to overcome it. He missed on almost every single one of the transfers that he brought in his first year. Very few of them produced much as football players. I think DeMontre Jacobs and maybe Noah Johnson were the only two that he got anything out of.
The nail in the coffin was losing his quarterback this year, I thought.
Yeah, it was everything.
That's why Tulane too.
If you're going for a program decision, if you're looking at the health of the program, you stick with Timmy McClain, right? But if you're looking to save your job, you go with Gary Bohannon, and so that's what he had to do. He had to go with Gary Bohannon because Bohannon gave him the best opportunity to win games now. He needed to get to 4-8. I would have lived with the schedule that they had and everything else. 4-8 would have been okay. 5-7 would have been good.
I think he would have still been coaching it, even if he only won 3 games.
If those 2 games were against Cincinnati and Florida on the road, absolutely.
Either one of those go the other way.
But when you don't win a Division I game, all year, and you're just getting blown out.
I could defend him coming back for this season. I thought he absolutely deserved one more shot, and it went down the worst case scenario possible.
When do they? I know they put a bid in a while ago, but when do they play Bama? Is that next year?
Next year.
Yeah, next year. Can't wait to watch
that game.
Next year,
it's going to be a bloodletting of monumental proportions.
You know, if you look at the USF, the Oracle, Brian's really familiar with that paper. Mm-hmm. They got Tom Herman, Willie Simons, and
Simmons.
Todd. Was it Simmons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Todd Monken? Where is he at?
He's offensive coordinator at Georgia. Yeah. He used to be on Dirk Cutter's coaching staff in Tampa.
Which is awful.
Yeah,
he was a good offensive coordinator.
We're not going with
coordinators again.
No more coordinators. I want a head coach. Tom Herman has never failed anywhere he went. I like him. Willie Simmons, he had some success at Valdosta State, I believe it was, before going to FAMU, where he's had success. He took a team at FAMU that had a losing record now they're number 2 right behind. And if Dion wasn't coaching, he probably would have won 2 conference titles in a row.
And he did
the SWAC.
And his team looked pretty good. I think they were missing 20 players against North Carolina.
Who is?
Yeah, I mean, they almost beat North Carolina, and they were missing a ton of players, right?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were missing 20 players, like administrative issues. Whoever it is, I hope it has to be the right hire. I mean, they've got to pull the nose up on this.
Like you said, they can't go after a coordinator. They got to go after a head coach, or at least if a coordinator already has head coaching experience.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a guy that's rehabbing his coaching
Alabama?
image,
at Alabama,
wherever.
Well, because they have some pretty good offense coordinators that pop in and then usually get hired right out. But I don't know if there's we're probably too small of a program now to take any of those coaches.
I don't know.
I don't know. Here's the thing. Yeah, those coaches aren't getting a P5 job out of the gate, so they've got to go group of 5. And USF has about $3 million a year that they're willing to pay a head coach.
And I think USF could. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I do think USF could be such a good blueprint for coaches that want to prove they can, do a little bit more than lead a team that's already stacked with talent. Like the athletic hotbed that is the state of Florida, the kids coming out of high school that you have, and just the success of this market in general right now. I think it could be a little bit more of an appealing job if, you're one of those coordinators looking to get a quick head coaching gig.
Yeah, but that's one of those things that we want one of those guys there that's going to jump. But
right,
I have a feeling it's going to be a destination job, no matter how you look at it. I always feel like, I think Brian's touched on this one before. I always think this is going to be a destination job. I mean, not a jump job. It's not to the next destination.
But so is UCF. I mean, all those spots are if you're not at a blue chip top 20 program, you're just a stepping stone for most of these guys. Now you'll get those one-offs that are there for life and looking to stay, and happy, and the grass is not always greener. But for the most part, yeah, if you're not a Bama, Florida, FSU, even
Texas A&M,
Oregon, Texas A&M, Texas type place, you're just a stepping stone.
That's why I want Levitt that much more, man. He'll ride that bitch till the wheels fall off.
65. He'll probably coach until he's 80, based upon his Bill Snyder, his
that's right.
protege.
Go full Pete Carroll.
I'm still blown away, and obviously I don't like Jim Levitt, but I'm always blown away that Kansas State, after Bill Snyder retired, that they didn't look at him.
Well, he had the stank of what happened here, right?
No, it was a lot longer. I think it was like 4 or 5 years. He was defense coordinator.
Yeah, but he clearly nobody, after the way he was railroaded at USF, nobody was going to give him another chance.
That's why I only thought K-State, because K-State's that small, they're loyal, that small little town, small college town. They love Bill Snyder. They know Jim Leavitt would be coming home, and he would probably stay, like you said, just like Bill Snyder, because realistically, it's hard to probably coach and recruit in Kansas State. And with Jim Leavitt being there, already coached, knows Bill Snyder, or how he did it, it would probably work. Well, but obviously, K-State's playing pretty good this year. So
here's the thing about having a coach like Leavitt, too, with a great defensive mind and philosophy and the ability to surround himself with you can get better quicker on the defensive side of the football than you can on the offensive side of the football.
True.
And so if you're looking to improve a team quickly, then get a defensive coach in there, because that will happen. Look at the New York Giants. What Brian Diebold has done there is nothing short of amazing, and it has been 90%. All of the improvement has been on the defensive side of the football.
That is true.
So even Saleh for the Jets. The offense is performing, but the defense is coming through.
Yeah, when you got Sauce Gardner putting up just ridiculous numbers as a rookie, they made a lot of the right moves in the offseason. Like, the Jets had a really good approach.
Yeah, and so I think if USF is really looking at it, you got a defensive-minded coach is the way I want them to go. Offense is sexy and it sells, but look, their offense right now is good. They have a good offense. They have Brian Battie, Jaron Mangum. The Gary Bohannon can come back if he wants. If not, they've got Byron Brown as a backup. Marsh is not going to be the answer there. They've got X Weaver at wideout, Jimmy Horn Jr. Now, how many of them can they keep? That's the key. And the quicker that I want this hire done in the next 2 weeks.
Otherwise, you're going to start getting transfer portals.
You're going to start losing talent, and the quicker a coach can come in, and that's why almost a coach who's out of coaching right now, a Dan Mullen, a Tom Herman, somebody like that, Jim Leavitt.
I don't want Dan Mullen.
No,
I don't know if I want a Dan Mullen.
I'm just throwing out names of guys that are out of coaching right now. You're not going to get the guy from Toledo to come in this season, right? You're not. Now, the flip side of that is you keep what you got, but that coach isn't going to be bringing any recruits with him. So by getting a coach from a school that's already currently coaching, is potentially you could poach some recruits.
You get that transfer portal, yeah,
right. But
now, I was just going to ask, off the USF topic. I mean, what do you guys think with the? I don't know if you guys watched the Tennessee-Alabama game. I mean, Tennessee-Georgia game. But what do you think of that top? Let's say top 5. Do you guys think it? Because
I thought TCU was a little odd.
No,
I mean, I do.
TCU. No, TCU's strength of victory is what, 3rd in the nation, 4th in the nation.
Yeah, I'm fine with TCU.
They don't play defense, but they've got a great offense.
So would you put TCU over in Ohio State, who almost played a shitty first quarter against Northwestern?
No, because that was weather-based, Ohio State's situation there. No, I think I'm not disagreeing with the rankings at all. I think 1, 2, 3, 4 is perfectly fine.
Well, if you go in top 10, I mean, what do you think of LSU being all the way to 7?
I think it's an overreaction to a win against Alabama. It was a good win. Brian Kelly will have them trending in the right direction. We'll see how they do this week, right? They've got
who do they have left?
They've got Arkansas on the road.
That's going to be tough.
It's tough, but I feel like they can win that.
Well, that's one of my NCAA picks for the week, is LSU is getting 3 points on the road at Arkansas.
That's a 12 o'clock game. And then they got UAB. That's a win. And Texas A&M. And that could be, Jimbo's not going to get fired. What's his guarantee?
A&M's 3-5 after the loss?
Jimbo is going to get fired if he loses this week.
Yeah, I agree.
guarantee it.
Okay.
Guarantee Jimbo Fisher is fired if they lose this week. Auburn, I think.
You have to win.
First off, yes. If they're playing Auburn they're playing at Auburn.
Yeah, I know. It is not. But look, that's not a gimme. And what time's the game?
It's 7:30.
Jordan Hare at night is not the easiest place to win. It's not. And Auburn's not good, but neither is Texas A&M.
I just think the way they collapsed at the end of the Florida game was it is coaching. That's going to go a long way. That's 100% on Jimbo.
That is quitting on their head coach. He is a dead man walking. I don't think the players like him very much.
You see the spread on that game? That just
on
says
Florida Tech or Auburn.
Auburn and Texas A&M.
Auburn favored, right?
Look at the odds, though. Go
1.5.
Up. No, but look at ESPN's Power Index. Auburn's actually favored to win that game.
Yeah, they're technically, because it's 1.5. Auburn's at home, so oof. That's not a good look. Especially everyone has already said Auburn so far down, and Texas A&M had the number 1 recruiting class this year, number 2 last year.
Yeah, and they didn't do shit with it.
No, I mean,
That's not good.
They spent more money than anybody else in the country, right?
Oh, on their nil?
Yeah.
And it's is it Cadillac's? Is it Cadillac's first? Or
Yeah,
is it, yes, it was last week. It was last week his first.
I want to say this week is his first game.
I mean, they were at Mississippi State and gave them all they could handle. You know, they lost by
overtime.
6 at Mississippi State, who's much better than the teams we're talking about right now. I'm telling you right now, if Jimbo Fisher loses to Auburn, he is fired by Sunday morning. He may be fired that night and told that night, but he is gone if he loses to Auburn.
Actually, no. Cadillac's first game was last week,
and they played really well.
And yeah, they played up. You don't think Jimbo will get the Herman Edward treatment when he got fired at Arizona
and just left?
Did you see
field?
That? Yeah, on the field.
Oh,
he's
that
walking
was
out.
awful.
He's walking down the tunnel, and
he was in the end zone, and the guy ran over.
The AD and the president come up to him. And they're like, "Yeah, you're done."
Yeah, I could see that happening here. It is that bad for them. You can't spend that type of money. You can't fall this far behind when you have Texas joining your conference soon. They have to get back to a competitive football team, and they are not there right now. And there aren't signs of promise. You don't watch that team play and go, "Oh, if this guy wasn't injured, they would be 7-2 right now." Like, that's not the team that he has on the field. And when you have the top recruiting class in the nation, you have to perform.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he has the quarterback for his system.
Whose fault is that?
No, it's Jimbo's.
Yeah,
it's 100% Jimbo's. I mean, I think they're playing like a redshirt freshman. He's got a lot of high throws. He looks like he's 15, but I mean, it just doesn't look like Jimbo. It's Jimbo's system. Like, he's trying to have him roll out and throw on the run, and that kid just doesn't look like he can do it. Now, he gets fired against Auburn, Brian. Are you getting in your private jet and going to pick him up, bring him back here?
Jimbo?
Yeah.
Hell no.
You wouldn't take him since he's going to be making 90. He's going to have 95 in the bank, and maybe he just wants to have a little charity?
I mean,
that wouldn't be the worst thing.
I wouldn't be the worst hire ever, but the guy's not a good coach. He's not a good football coach.
So you think he lost it, or you think he just had certain talent around him?
I think he had talent around him.
I think he is a
you've got
Charlie Strong. He is a Charlie Strong caliber head coach.
Oh,
that's where I put Jimbo Fisher.
I heard Charlie. Okay, head coach. Okay, I thought you were going to say coach because I know Charlie Strong is a good. I've heard he's a good coach and a good recruiter.
I mean, look at his time at Texas: 9-4, 8-5, 9-1 the COVID year. Okay, 8-4, 3-6. Where is the improvement? No. Where is the growth? Where is your guys are in here now. Now we're doing better. I mean, it just hasn't been there. They're in dead last place in their division right now. You got to be kidding me.
That's
and
bad.
It's the same thing at Florida State. Yeah, 13-1, good for you. Losing the Rose Bowl, 10-3, 10-3, 5-6. I mean, he single-handedly tanked Florida State on the heels of a national championship.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not build off of that as a coach? How do you lose it? To me, I'm saying I would be upset if USF hired Jimbo Fisher. I just would see it going exactly the same way that the Charlie Strong experiment went.
Well, I think that's where he was going through a divorce.
Well, Charlie Strong?
No, Jimbo.
Oh.
On his 5 and 6 year.
Oh, okay.
I think that's when he got a divorce and he started dating, I believe it was an assistant for Florida State, if I'm not mistaken.
Whatever.
I know, but you know what I mean? Well, I think that's what the excuse was.
Strange pussy should make you do everything in life better. That's all I have to say right now.
Ask the Boston coach.
When Tiger Woods was getting it, Boston, didn't they almost win?
They did. They actually, you know what? They were in the fucking
championship. So look, it has been proven that strange pussy improves athletic performance. This isn't even up for debate. Tiger Woods, when he was fucking Waffle House waitresses, was unfucking stoppable in his career.
And then once he stopped,
he's got screwed over. It was it.
He went downhill.
Hopefully the Bucks.
Look at every golfer.
On the tear of a lifetime now.
Look at every golfer on the PGA Tour that got married and settled down.
They disappear after
Jordan
a year.
Spieth, his career went to shit. He played a little bit better this year, but career went to shit. Fucking Ricky Fowler. career went to shit.
Every guy thrives in the chase.
It's a part of it. It's a psychological thing, man. It's a part of these guys. The way champions are
Your
wired.
confidence.
Their way they're wired. It's a competition for them. Strange pussy. It brings out the best in athletes. It's not. This isn't a controversial take. It's just controversial because nobody says it. But it is. Find me somebody who disagrees.
Number one sports show in Tampa on YouTube on Wednesdays at noon. We're saying it.
Yep.
Actually,
motherfucker.
There's so much. I want to see what. This is the last USF thing we'll talk about. Eatmore Kosal said, "Would we bring back Willie Taggart?"
I wouldn't be opposed.
So my problem with Willie is how much of his success here was predicated on Quentin Flowers just being a generational talent and being able to lead a team. I don't know. Based upon his performance where he's gone since, it would lead me to believe that Quentin Flowers, again, in that Charlie Strong mold, when he had his quarterback that could do, the quarterback that could do what he needed to do, he was okay.
Tampa Bay Vipers legend, Quentin Flowers.
I mean, he was just so much fun to watch, dude. That kid was those kids are fucking winners, man. Gardner Minshew is cut from that cloth, which drives me nuts because these are the kids that don't get a chance at the next level. They don't get a fair shake at the next level, but they're winners. They go out there, they compete, and they win. Matt Grothe was like that, man. He went out there and he grinded and he won. He found ways. Not the most talented, not the best, not the strongest arm, not the best at anything, but they're winners. It's a mentality. Look at what Tebow did with it. That kid wasn't fucking best at anything. He was just a winner.
Oh, don't tell Tim Tebow fans that, man. They'll get uproar right there.
Name one thing Tim Tebow was the best at.
Well, they'll bring
praying at midfield. That's about it.
You know what they'll say?
Circumcision.
He won a playoff game, Brian. He won a playoff game, buddy.
Yeah. Look, he was a winner, and he carried that pretty far. I mean, he rode. But he wasn't a quarterback in the NFL because he was a good quarterback. I'm sorry. He was a quarterback in the NFL because he was a winner and got a chance.
And he was a AAA baseball player.
So I just got to ask, if I had to pick one between Grothe, Daniels, or Flowers, oof, man, I got to go with in college, I would go with Quentin Flowers over those other two.
Over Daniels?
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniels was.
Daniels is a good backup NFL quarterback. He was not. Even at USF, he was a decent quarterback for us. He was not able to do the electric things on the field that Quentin Flowers. Quentin Flowers was a talent magnifier, man. He just whoever he was around, he elevated them. It was just the synergy that was there in that offense was exceptional.
Hold on, we got a hotline. Hello.
Yo, it's Prime. Okay, hey, real quick, sports life. We love shit. We love sports, but what's Brad's mom? What's Brad's mom do?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. Listen, I can't tell you what Brad's mom is.
No good, Alex. We're on to something different.
Mom. Brian, don't tell him.
No good, Alex. We're on to something different.
No, dude, and it's funny because Tampa's like, it doesn't even matter if y'all get Odell or whatever and y'all beat the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl this year, easily.
Really? You think the Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl?
That's cute.
By 11 points.
Oh, you got the final score locked in.
I got the Cowboys minus 10, honestly.
Cowboys minus 10 against who?
You know how Mattress Mac just cashed the biggest check ever? I'm about to cash the biggest check ever. I'm putting $100,000 Dallas Cowboys minus 10 Super Bowl.
Wow. Well, I hope you win.
Yeah, I will. Hunter Biden's meeting me there. We're going to smoke crack before we bet on it. Okay, well, how do we find Brad's mom? Tell me one.
Brian, do you know what Brad's mom is?
Yeah,
of course. I mean, everyone knows what Brad's
mom is.
Don't
be like that. Y'all are being so lame. Why are y'all being like this, dude? Stop. What is Brad? It's annoying because I'm searching on YouTube and I don't know. It's nothing. Something with Brent comes up.
I love
Does it have to do with Brent?
You know what I love is that you think the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
How about you guys win a fucking playoff game? How about you
It
start
doesn't matter about the past, dude. Every day is a new beginning.
Oh, it matters about the past with them. This is a franchise that hasn't done jack shit since there was free agency.
Are you reading a fucking Zen book lately? Jesus,
all
all these quotes.
Free agency.
All you have to do, it's about looking at the man in the mirror and realizing today is the first day of the rest of your life. And if you decide to make changes and you stick with that, that's the mindset of a champion. And the Dallas Cowboys are learning that. Through Dak Prescott, I believe
You
Did you
sound
just
like you
recently
need some
broke up with his
strange.
girlfriend?
You sound like you need some strange
Wait,
pussy.
did he break up with? Well, time out. If Dak Prescott's out there getting strange, I think that does improve their Super Bowl odds.
Don't tame some
That's what I'm
strange.
saying. I do believe that is the case.
So
His
why do
girlfriend,
hold on?
I follow
Time
on
out.
Instagram,
Why do you
doesn't
think?
post with them anymore.
Why do you think Brady played so well last week at the end of the game? Because he's
Um,
divorced and he got some strange pussy this week. That's why. That's what happened. I'm telling you, it happens. Watch what happens when he goes over there and gets some of that German schnitzel, man. He's gonna fucking tear it up this week.
No, I actually believe the Mike Tyson format, or who? I mean, I guess Mike Tyson did release his seed, but I think you're supposed to save it up. It makes you stronger and mentally tougher. It's like fasting. Like
That's what insoles say. So thanks, Brad's mom. We'll talk to you later.
What does Brad's mom mean, real quick? Just somebody give me a clue. How do I even find? What do I search?
Just
search
search
Brad's
Bubba the
mom.
Love Sponge, Brad's mom.
All right, buddy.
Nothing.
Take it
Brent
easy. Good
comes
luck
up.
to your Cowboys.
Yeah, I
Y'all are
know.
so annoying. Cowboys Super Bowl -10.
Yep,
Yeah.
we got
All
it,
right, buddy. We
got
love
it.
you.
Got it.
I wasn't sure. Sometimes it's a fax machine, but and it could be Bubba, but the number because he called about 27 times, so it looked like that number was on there a lot.
Was he calling the whole time we've been on the show?
No.
Oh,
I saw it start flashing, but sometimes it's the fax machine, sometimes it's decap. It just depends on the time of the day.
All right, Lummy, where are you taking this show next?
I'm taking it back. We're going straight. Well, did you have some college? Well, I wanted to ask. Sign threw me off. Well, I was going to say because I know you said you had a college pick. You had college picks.
Oh yeah, my college picks. You ready?
Yeah.
I got LSU +3 again at Arkansas. I've got Kansas +3.5 at Texas Tech, and Baylor laying 2.5 to Kansas State.
Oh, that's not bad. I had mine written down. Hold on. I do like your LSU. You kind of talked about. I like the LSU pick like you have.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Liberty Flames. Connecticut,
UConn, which they've been on a tear lately.
And I like the UConn pick. Because they're getting +14, and then I also like the West Virginia game.
Wait, are you
+8.
taking UConn?
I'm taking UConn.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say that one's sexy. After Liberty has a letdown game after this past week.
Yep, and I think
I think
Connecticut's
Liberty
been playing
wins, but I think they'll win by 10 or 12.
well. Yeah, I don't think they win by 14.
Yeah, I like it. I was looking at that one, but it's a big number.
And I think Oklahoma has been playing down, so I like West Virginia +8.
Okay.
I know West Virginia, but I think they show
Well,
up.
they just played well against who'd they play well against? TCU, right?
Yeah, and they're playing at home.
Yeah.
So those are my three right there. And
All right, cool.
You just want to pick USF over SMU?
Now, Rhett's got Florida giving laying 8 to South Carolina.
right.
No, I actually like South Carolina getting 8 points in that one.
Would you pick Florida, Brian? I mean, South Florida, 17.5?
No.
The players are either gonna come out and play well above their heads, or they're gonna come out and lay an egg. And I think they're gonna play above their heads. I like betting on teams that just lost a coach.
There is no in between with this USF team.
But Ryan's kind of right. When usually the teams that
they play
first
harder
game,
for an interim head coach.
That first
it's
game,
that strange coach.
Yeah, it's that strange pussy, strange coach. You know it. Yeah, exactly. I wanted to move into the NFL. Obviously, Bucks win.
Lummy wants you to call. Decap wants you to call him.
That's not really
That's
Decap.
not the real Decap.
Oh, it's not the real Decap.
No, I'm sorry.
Bummer.
Yeah, don't fall for that one. We fell for it a couple weeks ago.
Fucking got us on the main show for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Bubba thought it was him.
Saying some good shit too.
That's how you knew it wasn't him.
Exactly. That's what we started to figure.
Decap's great today.
That's what we started figuring it out because we were laughing too much and he was coming up with good zingers. It was almost like you, Brian. You're just sitting there as Decap.
He literally fooled us that's how this whole thing got started.
With Decap
Bubba
coming
was
back.
like, let's call Decap. So he called him and he's like, aren't you in chat right now? And
I'm at
Decap's like,
Disney.
no.
I'm at Disney right now, waiting for this
Disney.
guy.
I'm waiting for this guy. I'm meeting this guy here.
We're gonna go ride Space Mountain or something.
Oh, so he's definitely tapping feet at urinals.
What?
No, Bubba asked him. He said no.
We do have some breaking NFL news. A major announcement regarding the Washington Commanders is expected tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, they're sold.
How
That's
much
the major
percentage though?
announcement. Oh, he's done. He's out.
You don't think he's gonna keep a little bit?
No. I think so this is, if you really look at what happened here, the owners got together and they said, we want Snyder gone. And Snyder said, fuck all of you. I know all your dirty secrets. I'm going to air your dirty laundry. And the owners said, go fuck yourself. the federal government started sniffing around the Washington Commanders' finances. If you recall a report about 2 weeks ago that investigators were there. So the message was sent to Daniel Snyder. You are not bigger than the NFL. You are not taking any of us down. And he is making the decision to sell the team. That is my prediction. That is what happened. That is fact.
I think tomorrow they're all going to meet up at noon and kick his fucking ass. That's what they're going to do.
No, I actually agree with what Brian just said about the when the federal government started sniffing around. I think it was almost like, hey, you pipe down, we'll leave you alone.
Yep.
You keep
sell the
talking,
team, and we're not going to investigate anymore. You keep talking. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. That is what happened, because that report came out and then quickly fizzled away.
Yeah, you didn't hear much about it after
that. It was like on ESPN on the side screen, where they put the news stories for like an hour or two, and then it just vanished, and nobody said anything about it. Not a peep about it. No follow up. Nothing. That was a shot over the bow, and message was heard.
And pretty much now they're making a big announcement, and like it probably will be gone.
Oh, he's gone. He gone. Daniel Snyder gone.
So, on to the NFL. The Colts obviously fired their head coach and brought in Jeff Saturday, who I believe had an under 500 record as a high school football coach in Georgia.
Clearly the man for the job.
I mean, now is the owner of the Colts, Jim Irsay, just off his rocker by bringing in a non-proven former center for the Colts as their interim coach? Do you think he's going to have anything to do with play calling? Or is he just pretty much a locker room presence?
No, Jeff Saturday. So he brought on a former offensive assistant to be that guy right there. You see him,
Peter Parks Frazier.
Yeah, that's his offensive coordinator / play caller. But the first thing I thought of was that clip of Peyton Manning coming over and hey Jeff, quit calling the fucking plays.
Exactly.
Just play center.
Yeah.
When you pass, block.
I think it's a brilliant hire by Irsay.
That's the last thing I expected you to say.
Oh, because this is a win-win scenario. If the season tanks and the bottom falls out, you've got a coach now who's not trying. It's almost like Major League, right? You're trying to lose, but if you happen to end up winning, okay, type of thing. Because if the bottom falls out on the season, you get a good draft pick. Saturday doesn't come back, but you brought home a hometown hero guy, and it's all good. But if it does work out, you end up looking like a fucking genius, and it may work out. It's crazy enough to work. What does it really take to be a great head coach in the NFL? That's the question, right?
That's true.
I mean, does Jeff Saturday not know X's and O's?
No, he does.
Does Jeff Saturday not know how to lead players? Does Jeff Saturday not know how an NFL locker room works? Does Jeff Saturday not know how an NFL practice should look like? I'm just saying, this guy, if Jeff Saturday doesn't know, then who knows what's to be done on Sundays?
Well, I mean, obviously their quarterback, gunslinger from Texas, Sam Ellinger.
Erlinger,
Sam Air Jordan.
I don't think he's the future. I think they put Matt Ryan back in if they want to do something. But it looks like this guy, Frazier, it looks like he was like calling a lot of the plays for Frank Wright when he was the assistant to the head coach in 18 and 19. So it looks like he's kind of that background guy. He has a undergraduate degree in computer science and is considered among the leaders on the staff in the use of technology and data. So, I mean, do you think the Colts maybe are leaning that way? They're going to try to go young and go like more statistics compared to how like the old school coaches just have that feeling.
I think
kind of like MLB.
I think they're testing it out. But why not? Out of all the years to do it, this is your chance, right? See how it works.
If it doesn't work, I have to imagine that Irsay is just going to do whatever the fuck he wants this offseason, and it's going to be the most productive they've been in a long time.
You think so?
Yeah.
With
big
the number
reason,
one pick?
honestly, huh?
With the number one pick?
No.
You think
what are they on
Texans
pace for right now? Top 10 for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're 3-5-1.
But if it goes badly, it's going to go real bad real fast.
Exactly.
Right, that is true.
Because I think the Raiders are going to pull the nose up. I think the Texans are still fighting.
Eagles, Then they've got the Steelers. Okay, but that could be. And then Cowboys, Vikings, Chargers, Giants, Texans. They have 2 wins maybe left on that schedule.
Who's your 2 wins on that schedule?
Pittsburgh and maybe Houston, but probably not even Houston.
I don't think Houston. I think Houston's playing like tough. I think they're still fighting.
They're not really trying to win games.
I think Lovie Smith is.
I really don't think he is.
He
was brought in there to do one thing and one thing only, and that's lose. And they knew he wouldn't mind losing.
Well, it's not like there's a clear number 1 either for them to battle it out. Like most years that between Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf and all those different, like everyone's kind of battling who's going to be number 1. Let's sink the season for it. Kind of like the Bucs did with Jameis, but
yeah, I think as long as you're in the top 6 or 7, you'll be fine with a decent, chance at getting somebody. But yeah, from a quarterback perspective, there's nobody that's right now on paper is like the guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust Bo Nix.
No.
What would you say? What were you saying, Rhett?
Well, I was going to say, I guess it depends on how they approach the offseason, the second half of this season playing out the way that it does. But do you know what Quentin Nelson's contract looks like? Because he is been playing like shit this year, and I would not be surprised if they wanted to trade him because some other teams could be looking for a guy like that.
Well, the trade deadline is coming past.
I meant like
release him?
Sure, yeah, end of the year.
Why are you thinking the Bucs?
No, I'm just thinking in general. If the Colts are going to rebuild their team, there's going to be a lot of people who still see Quentin Nelson as a piece of value.
Yeah, but usually
by the trade deadline next year, if he's still playing like shit, there's going to be other teams that still want him.
4 years, $80 million, $60 million guaranteed. But
how many years ago was that? Like,
well, it couldn't have been long. It had to have been like last season or this.
He's making currently. It looks like he's on his second year. He got $4 million this year, $6 million, and then 2024 he's got $19 million. Then he's got a potential out in 2025, which would be the 3 year, $60 million. And it would have $12 million.
It was
dead
just
cap.
at the beginning of the season they did a 4-year extension. He's not going anywhere. He's part of their future plans.
Yeah, and he's what, 20? Yeah, he's 26. Yeah. And it seemed like with the Colts, even when they, with Peyton, and then also because they had that down year, and even with Andrew Luck, they kept their line. They were trying to build a line.
Offensive line is not a position that you cheap out on when you're going with a young quarterback. Like that's the one position you do put money into because you've got to protect that investment. You can't let that. Let's say that you do take a kid in the first round this year or next.
Yeah,
you can't have him getting killed.
I just know he's been under some scrutiny this year from people in the Colts fan base, and so I wasn't really sure what his situation was. If maybe that's something they wanted to consider, depending on how they want to gear up and basically put together resources, whether it's draft picks or whatever the fuck.
Well, most likely he's getting scrutiny because, the running game and Matt Ryan's getting sacked a lot. So what do? You go to your best offensive lineman.
Well, it doesn't help that clearly Taylor hasn't been healthy all season.
Fuck that guy.
So, well, I know.
First round pick, first pick overall.
It happens.
Fuck.
I had DeAndre Swift in the second round, buddy. So,
yeah, but at least he looks like there's
still playing, right?
Well, at least I picked up Jamal Williams as a handcuff.
I was going to say,
you don't even have a good handcuff in Indy.
Yeah,
switched handcuffs on you.
Didn't they just traded
traded Hines, and now you've got Deion Johnson or whatever his name is. Deion Jackson is the number 2 there. But then they also bring in a guy from Buffalo.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Hines.
They traded Hines for a guy from Buffalo.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I think they got starts with a Z or something like that.
I was looking at Melvin Mack, maybe, or whatever. No, I was saying that maybe they can bring him back.
No, who's probably really going through right now? Leonard Fournette owners, because he's been playing like shit, and he's apparently pretty unhappy with the Bucs coaching staff right now.
He shouldn't even be starting for them. Rashad White is a far better running back right now. The fact that Leonard Fournette is out there play after play is making me sick to my stomach.
Zach Moss.
Rashad White actually gains 4 yards once in a while rather than 2 and then fall down at the line.
Did you see the report this week that Lenny was just hysterical on the sideline after being benched on Sunday's game, to where Rashad White literally had to remind him, like, hey, fucker, team first. Yep. Like, it's apparently his attitude is becoming a problem, and it's unfortunate because that's exactly why Jacksonville cut his bum ass.
Yeah,
that's what happens. I mean, he just signed another deal with us. What, 3 years?
Yeah, it was 3 years this past offseason. Unfortunately, $7 million a year. So a top 5 running back salary in the league right now.
Yeah, it was a stupid deal that I don't think anybody really supported at the time
or
now.
Well, I mean, he supposedly came back as Tom Brady.
Yeah, he came back because he got 3 years.
Yeah, true. Jesus, 863.
Yeah, I'll try to make it quick because I'm Bluetooth Willie. I know it sucks. So there's two things. One, I completely agree with you guys on the Tom Brady getting a little better or going to get better because he's finally divorced because nothing.
That strange pussy,
like
dude.
Well, it's the strange snack and that sleep you get when you don't have to sit there and watch your kids and listen to your wife complain and nag about every little thing. So that helps. And then the other thing is, have you guys ever, like, you know, sometimes you got the fantasy leagues you do with your buddies, and I want to know if this is wrong because I did it with, like, two of my buddies 2 years in a row now, and what I'll do is I'll pick some good players. They'll get some good players, but once one of them starts to accelerate or I accelerate with more wins, I'll trade off my good players. If I'm losing, I'll trade them my good players for a percentage of their wins after they win the season.
I hate people like you.
That's
I hate
dirty,
people
right?
like you. Yes.
Well, that's not dirty. That's cheating.
Yeah, I
but
would. If you were in my league, I would find you and punch you in the face.
And you would pummel me too, because I'm only like 5'10", 170. You would literally smash me.
I don't think anybody would agree with you on that, right, Brian? In here.
All right, man. Y'all have a good
See you, Jack Beat. Or would you agree with that, Brian?
No, what? I'm a very honest guy.
No, I'm saying you don't agree with that.
I don't fucking like scumbag behavior. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
like people who shoplift, I don't think that's cool.
I hope not, Brian.
I'm just saying. It's like that's what he's doing. He's stealing.
I fucking love shoplifting, Brian.
He's stealing.
Yeah, because all of a sudden he loses, and he goes, well, you know what? Let's fuck everyone else. So hey, how about you give me 20%, and I'll send you a couple good players.
What's worse? Someone well, never mind. I already know the answer to this, but I'll ask anyways. What's worse? Someone doing that or the guy that just totally gives up on setting his lineup and everything by like week 5?
The guy who's cheating is worse, but not by a whole lot. Why? Did you quit already?
No, Red actually, he's playing. His team is absolutely garbage.
I'm actually making a valiant effort to place.
I'll tell you, it's the toughest year ever to have injuries or have missed on positions.
Or have the 14th fucking pick.
The offense is
number one.
Well, you could have done well with the 14th pick.
I thought I drafted well.
Who'd you draft first?
My first 2 picks were Najee and DeAndre Swift at 13 and 14.
Oof.
14 and 15.
Oof.
What running backs were left at 14 and 15 that weren't DeAndre? The fact that I got DeAndre Swift at 14
might have still been there. Kamara might have still been there.
No, he wasn't. No, he was not.
There's only so many that could not be there. Okay, so Saquon Barkley. I'm just saying, there's only so many. So let's go back and look at your draft, and I guarantee you there were others. Now, I'm not saying you're an idiot for taking the ones that you took.
Man, I remember
I didn't have high hopes in Najee.
I remember you liked my draft when I told you about it.
I liked Swift, but again, he got hurt again. But who did you pass up on to take those guys?
That's a great question,
Who went
Brian.
15, 16, 17, 18?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the board. I don't
remember. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
If Yahoo makes it really easy, by the way, to look at that.
But, let's just.
Well, I don't have the login on Lummy's computer. This is his laptop.
Well, you don't have to have my login.
Yeah, do you know how computers work? You can go to a website and look at
and then switch out to yours.
Switch into your account.
Yeah, but then I got to log back out.
Oh my goodness!
It's so much
work.
Brian, here's your snowflake right here. This is your generation coming out. It's too much to log in and then get, have to log in, check it, or he knows.
The worst part about it is I got to pee. Too.
Brian, you know what it is?
Go ahead and go while we look and make fun of your.
There you go. Here, Lummy, you could pull it up. You got your login up there.
Lummy's trying to log in up there. I don't know.
Here's the same draft. You could go pick by pick.
I'm doing it right now. Let's see rounds. Where is your team?
Well, because, Lummy, you had the first pick. You were stuck drafting Jonathan Taylor.
No, that was in a different league.
Oh, okay.
I had the third pick. I picked Dalvin Cook.
Okay.
No, he picked, let's see, who else was out there after?
Let's go. Let's say 15, 16, 17, 18.
Well, 15 he took...
he was picking 14, 15?
Yeah.
Okay, 16, 17, 18, 19.
16, Mahomes. 17, Barkley. 18, Josh Allen. Oh, I probably would have picked Josh Allen on that one. Aaron Jones was 19. Kamara was 20.
I told you Kamara would be available. He said he was gone.
Yeah.
Kamara would have been the better pick.
21, Kelsey.
I wouldn't have gone with 2. So the problem with what he did was he went with 2 injury-prone, questionable running backs. And that coming off of injuries from last season. You can't do that. Like, you can take a chance on one of them, but you take a chance on 2 injury-prone guys coming out. There's no way he washed his hands. No fucking way. Don't
Did
touch
he already
anything
come back?
in
Is
here.
he
He's
already
already
done?
back in here. Yeah, he's almost at his microphone. He did
He
not
heard
wash
you.
his hands.
So he at least Aaron Jones would have been something. Kamara, Chubb.
Here's some hand sanitizer, buddy.
Thanks.
Clean
I don't
those-
need it, but
Clean
I'm
your
good.
piss-filled hands. Your red pubic hair piss-filled hands.
I'll rub them on you. You
So
keep calling
hey,
me like
Brian,
that.
his fourth pick, he picked Allen Robinson.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
shut the fuck up.
Hold on.
Preseason projections.
Hold on, I'm just reading your picks.
I know you're right. Okay, so can we start from the top? My first two were Swift and Harris, right?
Yeah, so you had Kamara available, Barkley available.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. I'm looking at it.
Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes.
Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes in the first round. I mean, hindsight 2020, but
Well,
You could've taken him in the second round.
I took Josh Allen early, but not in the first round. But I was in a 12-man league. I took him in the third.
I mean, how's Chubb
What's up
playing?
with his hand sanitizer?
How about Chubb?
Chubb's been doing pretty good. I think he
yeah.
just had a 56-point game.
Oh, he could have had Chubb.
Could have.
I mean,
The point was you don't take two guys who are coming off of injuries.
and then what you're
No, you're
thinking
right.
of? What you're thinking of? Allen Robinson.
Well, I was just like everyone else thinking he would actually be, a pretty consistent target for Matt Stafford because I didn't think Matt Stafford would be on pace to throw 16
Matt Stafford's not right. Can we all acknowledge that he's definitely playing injured? And
Yeah,
I mean, there's
he's
just no
fucking
way.
Garbage. I took Matt Stafford in every single one of my leagues except for one, so I've just been fucked.
Yeah, he
all
has
year.
an elbow or a shoulder issue. Clearly, I mean, he is not the right guy right now, and maybe he just I don't know. He needs a couple weeks off. I don't know, but they're gonna, or somebody said he may have lost it. What is he? 35 now?
He's getting up there.
It can happen. I mean, we're getting so jaded by what Brady is doing here, but realize that most quarterbacks are about done in the league at 36 years old, 37 years old.
Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, clearly we're seeing that with him too.
Well,
You wouldn't.
his fifth picks were Dalton Schultz and Rashad Penny.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump back in.
Oh, your team must be total ass right now.
Yeah, I know they're fucking garbage. Rashad Penny had a hot few weeks and then he just got hurt.
Well, no, Rashad Penny was on pace to have a top 5 running back, top 10 running back season, and now he's gone.
Dalton
Pretty
Schultz
much.
was a little much. I mean,
Yeah, you know the standings in this league right now, Brian.
No.
I'm dead fucking last.
Well, I could have guessed that based upon your picks.
and then he picked 9. He picked Nyheim Hines and Drake London.
Oh God! Now,
I know.
did you have a shot at Olave at that point, or was
I'm pretty
Olave
sure I
off the-
wanted Olave and somebody took him like 2
Because
picks
you do
before.
take a chance on a rookie wideout in rounds 8, 9, 10. I mean, that's okay. What round did you take Drake in?
He took Drake in the 10th.
Okay, that's not. I mean, it sucks because it hasn't worked out. But I also, you got to look when you're taking a rookie wideout at it, who is getting them the ball, who is going to be putting the ball into their hands. And it was very clear that Mariota was not going to be throwing a lot of passes this season.
Now, his 11th and 12th round pick are pretty good. He got Matt Ryan and the Pittsburgh D.
Oh God.
Hey,
and then
Pittsburgh D had like the most points of any defense in the first 2 weeks of the season. They were fucking awesome 2 weeks in a row.
And then the
Yep.
next pick right
Week
after
one,
was
they got like
Pittsburgh
30
D.
And then Watt
Yeah.
got injured. TJ
Yep.
Watt got injured, and you were fucked.
And then right after Pittsburgh D went Jamal Williams to JB Wood. So that would have been a good pickup.
This is like what 15th round.
We're in the 13th round. You got Noah Fant. So you
Yeah,
got
by
your
this
backup
point I
tight
was
end.
just fucking checked out trying to fill.
And then the
fill roster
14th,
spaces.
McCole Hardman.
Mecole Hardman. In
I
Kansas
never
City.
take 2 tight ends. I'll stream. I'll take one and stream bye week, and then if he gets injured, fuck it. But it's just not
Fuck it,
worth.
we ball.
It's not worth having that roster spot taken. You might as well take 2 defenses too.
He did pretty good on his last pick, Young Ho Koo. I mean,
He's actually that's probably his
best player.
pick.
That's your MVP. That's your MVP right there.
You know what Yahoo gave my draft was a B+. That was my draft grade after my email.
Now let's go to your picks in this same group, Lummy.
Oh, me?
Yeah, from number 1, you son of a bitch, you 14 team bastard.
I wasn't number 1. I was number 3. I got Dalvin Cook. Then after Dalvin Cook, I got Mark Andrews, Keenan Allen, who's been fucking hurt the whole time, Jalen Waddle, Antonio Gibson, Rashad Bateman, Cardell Patterson, Derek Carr. That's my Brian pick. Kadarius Toney
Sorry about that.
in round 9. I got Kadarius Toney. And New Orleans defense. Julio Jones, as thinking that he might have been something. Mark Ingram, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and Dustin Hopkins, the Chargers kicker, and Davis Mills is my backup quarterback.
So I'm in a 12-man league, and so I had 7th pick. I got Justin Jefferson, number 7. Then I went Swift, 18.
Must have been playing with some fucking R's in if Justin Jefferson went 7th.
No, it's just people went heavier on running backs than wide receivers early on. Swift, 18. Allen, 31 overall. Then 4th round, I got Jalen Waddle. 5th round, this is the reason right here. This next 5 picks are the reasons why I'm not going to win this league. Cam Akers, Elijah Mitchell, T.J. Hawkinson, Darnell Mooney, Robert Woods.
Hell yeah.
Is Cam Akers really that bad?
Yeah, he
Teams
is.
were saying no.
5
I know, that's
carries for 3 yards this week.
Nobody wanted him.
I've got Kieran. What's his face?
Keenan Allen?
No. The rookie that the Rams have on injured reserve, Kieran Williams. If he's available in your league, I recommend that you roster him. He's got to come back, I think, within the next week or two, or he's out for the rest of the year. But based upon what I've seen from all of the Rams running backs, he's going to get carries. He's going to get a look, and he could be a playoff winner for you.
Darrell Henderson? You don't think Darrell Henderson's going to be there? I mean, he's got, 263 yards rushing?
He's averaging, 2.8 a carry?
That's not too bad. It's better than Cam Akers.
It's not too bad if you're running behind Leonard Fournette.
Hold on,
it's not too bad.
Cam Akers has 2.8. Darrell Henderson has 4.1. All right, be respectful of that.
Yeah, and all of them, I think, came on 2. He had 2 long carries this season, and then everything else, if you back those 2 long carries out, he's 2.8.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean,
he had a 39-yard carry and a 30-yard carry, and then if you back those out, he's a 2.8 guy.
What happened to Cam Akers?
He got injured, and he came back, and he apparently doesn't have the work ethic, number one. Number two, I don't think that Sean McVay knows how to properly utilize him in the offense. He's a smaller, faster guy, and they never get him the ball in space out in the flats.
Is he kind of like a work done?
He's to me, he's more like a Dalvin Cook if they could get him the ball more.
Really?
He's smaller, so maybe that's not a perfect correlation. But I think he has the chance. He has a chance if he went to the right team. But he may have lost with that Achilles injury. He may have lost his burst. I mean,
he just doesn't have it.
He just doesn't have it.
What's going on with the good old Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson?
They're riding.
I mean, did Russell Wilson lose it? Or did he lose it a while ago?
Did he ever have it? Is the question. Was Pete Carroll making him look better than he actually is? Because Pete Carroll's making Geno Smith look better than he actually is.
Oh, that's true.
So maybe, just maybe, Russell Wilson was never as good as we all thought he was. Maybe we all got duped. Maybe.
Mr. Unlimited.
I mean, look, Seattle had a choice to make. Seattle could have chosen to keep Russell Wilson or to keep Pete Carroll, and they made their choice. Who's got a better record right now?
The Seattle Seahawks.
Ah, interesting.
Well, Russell, I mean, just all the weird stuff that's been coming out about him. He's doing high knees on the plane ride over.
His teammates have to call his agent to get in touch with him?
Yeah, he doesn't give his number out. I mean, that's just a little weird.
I think that stuff just catches up to you a lot faster when you're not on a winning football team.
Well,
I know that even in his last few years in Seattle, they were ass bucket, but
how about being a new guy and trying to establish yourself as a leader in a locker room
fucking big
and
time
being
in everybody.
a fucking diva?
No, I agree.
So I mean, you think the they're pretty much stuck with him for next year too, aren't they?
Next year, they're stuck with
with
him
for a while.
Yeah, what's his? I
think it's 8 years.
How much is it
7.
guaranteed though?
A lot,
They
almost
guaranteed
all of it?
$250.
Oh, they guaranteed
They're
161.
Well, okay, 161
Jesus
guaranteed,
Christ.
but they signed him to what, 251, I think.
242. 5 years.
5-year extension's 245.
Jesus.
Put him right behind Aaron Rodgers as second highest. He's making $49 million a year.
What a fucking scumbag.
Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson?
Both, I guess. I mean,
this is why you don't
Jesus,
pay guys
dude.
a lot of money, man. Now they do have I don't know who has the potential out, but if it's Denver, they would have a potential out in 2026.
I can't believe I wanted this guy in Tampa.
Yeah, look at that dead cap of $31 million.
Yeah, it's gonna be painful. It's going to be painful.
So with the Broncos, then they're like just trading everybody, or are they just going to try to rebuild around them? Are they going to try to piece it, or do you think they're going to go young and just say, "Fuck, we're stuck with Russell Wilson"?
I think
we're just going to build our team young, and if when he's done, we'll just get a rookie quarterback.
I think that might be the most realistic approach, especially with the picks they got from the Chubb trade.
I just think maybe you got to give him one more year. You get another receiver for him because clearly Sutton and Judy aren't good enough. But at this point, you need a running back. They don't have any. It's a pretty weak talent base on the offensive side of the football.
Melvin Gordon, huh? You don't like him?
He looks like he should be playing saxophone for the E Street Band.
Well, let me ask you.
You look at that guy, you're not like, oh, that's a great NFL running back. No, you look at Melvin Gordon, it's like, oh, okay, he's a saxophonist for Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, I could see that right there. Yeah. Now, let me ask you, when the Aaron Rodgers was planning on going there, do you think that this team would be totally different if Aaron Rodgers would have followed was it Hawkman?
Shit, I guess not, to be honest with you.
They're the same guy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's pull the mask off Russell Wilson, and who do you see? You see Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers underperforming. Aaron Rodgers is underperforming this year with an undeveloped wide receiver room, and like.
Why is that wide receiver room undeveloped though? I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, the Broncos would have been handcuffed in the same exact situation because that's the kind of payday he would have wanted. Maybe not as long of a deal. But they would have been paying his ass more than anybody else.
Aaron Rodgers would be doing better with the Broncos than they're currently doing. Russell Wilson is not the quarterback that Aaron Rodgers is. But they would not be winning their division or anything like that. They might be, a game or two better at most.
Well, Brian, when you were saying this, I believe it was yesterday, about Aaron Rodgers signing his contract and he's selfish. Do you think Aaron Rodgers is the type of guy that knew Green Bay was not going to give him help around? He was just fucking over it and said, fuck these guys. I'm going to take my payday. I'm going to get whatever they're going to – I'm going to put some number out there, and if they give it to me, fuck it. I'll take it and just run off. So he finally got paid because he didn't see that there was going to be potential in Green Bay for the next couple of years?
No, I don't think that at all. I think Aaron Rodgers took the money that he took because Aaron Rodgers believes that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the world. And Aaron Rodgers believed that he could win with anybody, any bums off the street at wide receiver. And that may have been true 4 years ago. But 2022 Aaron Rodgers ain't that guy. 2022 Aaron Rodgers is 38, almost 39 years old. And what we're seeing is regression. When quarterbacks lose it in the NFL, look at Peyton Manning, man. And I know he had neck surgery and all that. But he went out there one season looking like he could lead a team to a Super Bowl, and the next season looking like, how did this guy ever play in the league? And when they lose it, they lose it fast, man. It's not. It is quick. And the Packers better hope that this isn't Aaron Rodgers losing it, because they've got a lot of money tied up in him.
So what do they do with Jordan Love?
He's nothing. He's not going to do anything.
No, I'm saying, what do they do? Do they get rid of him?
I mean,
do they keep him?
They eat it. They can't get rid. He has no value. He has no value. What's the value? What would any team go? A 7th round pick for him? A 6th round pick? Who gives a shit?
So they're stuck with. I mean, do you see Rodgers retiring anytime soon?
Yeah.
Rodgers?
Yeah.
No, he's going to take his money.
He's just going to sit there and just milk it dry?
He's going to take them for every penny. He's still pissed about the Love thing. This is his revenge.
I think he comes back next year, but to be honest with you, if the Packers fucking suck again next year, because we've already reached the point, everybody has come to the conclusion that the Packers are not going to figure this thing out and turn around.
How do you have those two running backs, though, and you can't fucking figure out how to run an offense? I don't get it.
I get it, yeah.
I don't get it. You've got...
But if they're in a poverty situation again next year, I guarantee he retires. He's going to be 41 years old by the end of next season, right?
No, 40.
Yeah.
He's about to turn 39. In fact, early happy birthday to Aaron Rodgers 2 weeks from now.
That's your buddy, your favorite.
I love him, man. He's just a class guy, 100%. All about the team, not an eye guy at all.
Greatest of all time.
Gotta be. One of the greatest regular season quarterbacks of all time.
Hold on, Brian, I'm looking at his contract. In 2023, it says what? The salary, he's going to make 1.1.
Yeah, they had to rework the salary and everything, so it's massive bonuses and
what's the option bonus?
That's his option, I guess.
It's his
back.
option.
I don't know.
Oh, it's his option? Well, no fucking shit he's going to come back. For $58 million?
Yeah.
Then 47, and then I guess he could retire by 2025.
Yeah, that would be the first season that he might at that point.
Think about it, because he would only be making 15, 20. He'd be making 20. Holy shit. That's a nice little contract that he duped him out of. It's about as good as Russell Wilson, I guess.
What do you mean, next year when he's making $60 million to be
Yes.
their quarterback?
Yeah, exactly.
He may retire this offseason. The fuck he will.
I don't see
How
him.
about the year after that when he's making $50 million?
Yeah, I think he's going to come back.
He does? He goes in that last year. This is the move Aaron Rodgers would do. Go in that last year, 2024, team sucks. My shoulder hurts.
Go on Pat McAfee every Tuesday, talk about it.
My shoulder hurts. I can't play. And then he just fucking gets paid to sit on the bench and not play.
Oh. No, I think his ego's too much.
What? To what? Sit on the bench and take money because he's injured? No way.
I think he still thinks that he can.
Oh, by the end
it.
of next year, any ego he has will be a deflated balloon.
614.
Hey, what's up, Lum? It's Mitch Lucerini.
Hey, what's up, Mitch Lucerini?
Not a whole lot. Hey, since you guys are talking about Aaron Rodgers and all that, I want to make a bold prediction and say that Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Matt Ryan are all going to retire after this year.
Oh, there's no way Rodgers retires. I could see Ryan and Brady. There's no way Rodgers is not going to come back for his $60 million.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no way.
You don't think so?
$60 million? $60 million.
Yeah, that's pretty bonkers.
$60 million.
Yeah.
60 million.
Well,
and
He'll start doing more drugs in South America with all the money he's got.
Yeah, but
imagine how much more
after
drugs.
one more year, you got 60 million. You're just going to do a lot more drugs after that.
Well, I guess I need to book my flight down there and join them.
So real quick,
Exactly.
just to give you perspective, okay? Aaron Rodgers, counting this year in which he's making $42 million, has played 18 years in the league and made $305 million. In 1 year, he's going to make a fifth of that money. He's going to make the equivalent of 3.5 seasons worth of salary in 1 year. He's coming back next season. There's no way he's not. And he hasn't looked complete trash. Like, you don't look at him, he's not getting picked off every time he throws the ball, but he just ain't the Aaron Rodgers he was.
But it is also
it made me happy. He beat. I'm a Detroit fan, and we smoked his ass. So
you want him to come back? Then he's an albatross around. If he retires, then Green Bay gets salary cap relief and all that. You want him?
The only reason I hope he retires so it saves Bubba some sanity, whatever he's got left.
Bubba's a broken man after what Lummy did to him today.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
All that counter.
Way to go,
Hey, and Lummy, where are you getting all these stats from on Aaron Rodgers?
Which one?
All of them. How do you even know they're real? What part of Florida are they from?
That's not what I was saying, Brian. That's not even the point I
All
was
right, guys,
making,
enjoy
you
the
dickhead.
rest of the show.
See ya. That's not the point I was saying, you dumb fuck.
Relax.
I never said they weren't real. You dumb. Fuck you. That's not what my point was.
Are these stats from Northern Green Bay or Southern Green Bay?
You're
Because that
such a
could make
dick.
a big difference.
It could have, by the way, when they pull 1,000 people.
I know, buddy. I know how polling works.
Exactly.
And I'll explain it to you if you'd like.
No, I think I'm good. I was kind of curious if they're in the heart of Miami-Dade County asking.
Oh, you just
these
want to
things.
interrupt the main show with this, not the sports show? I'm just fucking with you, dude.
You're such a fucking cocksucker. It was a valid question.
It was a valid question.
I should have waited
asked at the wrong time.
I should have asked it on hot mic.
Or you should have let him
100%.
finish his thought and say, "But Bubba, where's those stats from?"
I thought I did, but it's my fault.
No, it was me. He hadn't even gotten them all out. He was like trying to get through them, but that's all it was.
It's
And
hot
I
mic
look,
next
I
time.
understand. You really didn't do anything too wrong. You don't know any better. You're Lummy.
I'm Lummy. That's right. Thank you, Brian.
I
for
love you,
just-
Lummy.
Your boy Stephen A. Smith, I just went on the Packers ESPN site. He said he looked like absolute trash, Brian, and Stephen A. Smith knows football.
Well, he did look like trash last week. That was the first time that Aaron Rodgers looked like absolute trash.
I did not see that game as I was heading to the Bucs game.
Yeah, he looked like shit.
I love having NFL Red Zone.
So do I.
You don't need the Sunday ticket or whatever. You just need NFL Red Zone.
That's all I watch.
It is the best.
I got the Bucs on, and then the Red Zone. And then when we were driving down, I was trying to listen and watch the Red Zone, which the Packers weren't in the Red Zone that much. This is probably why I didn't get to see any of that game.
You remember when the Packers were 3-1?
Yes, I do. And they're on a 5-game skid?
Yeah, Giants, Jets, Commanders, Bills, and Lions.
Those
Fucking
should have
Bucs
been about
lost
4.
to this team.
Yeah, the Bucs lost to this
Like,
team.
of all the years they could have lost to the Packers.
At home to this team.
They beat the MVP both times.
That was the Mike Evans short game, right? They were short Mike Evans.
Yeah, they were dinged up,
Yeah.
but come on.
Our leading receiver was Gage, who we haven't heard from since that game.
You know who the Packers' leading rusher was last week, right?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, 4 carries
That was
for
a
40
guess.
yards.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had one that was like a 30-yard run.
Yeah, that
Wow.
that's disappointing. How are you not scheming? How can you not, with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, not get them the ball in space where they can do something more?
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Fantasy question, would you guys start Clyde Edwards-Helaire this week over Leonard Fournette?
No, because it's a crapshoot in that Chiefs backfield. At least Fournette's going to get 10 to 15 touches.
He's gonna
Edwards-Helaire could get 2 touches. He could get 0 touches. They could go with Pacheco. They could go with McKinnon. Didn't they also? They didn't bring in another back, did they?
They had Ronald Jones, but he's sitting around asking for a release.
Yeah.
Well,
He's literally on Twitter saying, "Man, a release would be nice right around now."
Yeah, he's looking for a chick to come over and give him a fucking release.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's why he's struggling.
That's probably why.
Well, Fournette, and Fournette too, guaranteed he's going to get at least 10 to 12 carries in the first 6 minutes of the game under that play calling.
He may not this week, though. After the tantrum he threw last week,
Yeah,
and
they
after,
pulled him. They pulled him after I think 11 carries last week.
and after White performing noticeably better, significantly better than he did on the field. I mean, I don't know how much longer you can justify making Fournette your premier back, your lead back.
Let's be honest here. I mean, Lummy, I don't know how you feel about this, but I don't see if Bruce Arians were still the head coach, I feel like that shit wouldn't fly, and the realistic choice would be Rachaad White's going to be our running back 1 moving forward. But if this Todd Bowles coaching staff has proved to me anything, it's that they are stubborn as hell. Like Nick Leverett for 2 weeks in a row since starting at left guard has been the highest graded player on the offense. But I mean, we waited for as long as we did to take Gedeke out.
Let me ask you a
That guy
quick
was
question,
fucking
though.
terrible.
How much do you think Fournette staying in there as the lead back is Brady wanting him there?
I think it's Brady.
So
I think Brady
that's
definitely
the X
feels,
factor.
Yeah.
So I think it's a comfortability thing for Brady that he how much does Brady trust he can't get blindside shot on a blitz that Rachaad White fails to pick up.
Right, and he's had issues with that this season, too.
And Fournette does pretty good job picking up the blitz. So I think it's as much that as anything else at this point. Brady looking out for himself selfishly, but also looking out for the team, because if he goes down,
I mean, what on? They got Blaine Gabbert.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they got Blaine Gabbert.
Exactly.
I don't
What do you
see
think the
anything wrong
Bucs
with that.
record would be with Blaine Gabbert starting this
Right,
year
you
with the
mean
way
right
the
now?
offense has performed?
Right
yeah,
now?
Yeah, Blaine Gabbert, like,
7-2.
Okay,
Yeah, 7-2.
Yeah, sounds about right. I think
6-3 at the very least.
They might have been able to find. No, they wouldn't have even beat. No, they absolutely would not have beat Dallas, because Blaine Gabbert would have taken 18 sacks from Micah Parsons in that game. There's no way. In fact, Blaine Gabbert probably doesn't even survive that game. Tom Brady did. Blaine Gabbert wouldn't have.
Blaine would be out there fucking slinging
it.
You see, Brian,
He'd
you
have 20 touchdowns by now.
It's like all the Buck staff say, you're just not in the locker room, Brian. You don't see the magic on the
you don't
practice
see what
field.
they see.
You don't see
33
it.
years old. He's fresh.
Yeah. He hasn't started, in 4 or 5 years? All right. Did he start for the Titans? Did he ever start with the Titans in 18, or just a backup?
No, I think he was just a backup.
So-
I don't think he's ever started for the Bucs.
While we're on the Bucs, though, I think a revelation last week that finally came through, and I think we're going to continue to see it, is the chemistry and the trust between Otten and Brady finally developing fully.
Cade Otton's getting better every single week.
He's getting better, and part of that is just the familiarity with Brady and knowing where Brady's going to expect him to be, what's expected of you on the field from Tom Brady, which is a big thing for him. And I think that's going to be a huge difference maker down the stretch for the Bucs as this offense starts to improve.
Brady, I mean, it's nice to win a game every now and again, and he'll probably be a little more vocal after a win than a loss. But he was vocal on his podcast this week about the execution in Tampa Bay, and he said that's probably, quote, the most embarrassing thing about our team right now is that guys don't want to go out there and perform. He didn't, single out anybody, any position group or whatever, but he let it be known that he's not very happy with the effort this team has put in, flat out, simply. Like, it's embarrassing.
They look
So,
complacent out there. There is no fire.
do.
There is no passion. Even Evans, who's always been a vocal team leader and energy source, ever since that suspension, has not looked the same.
I think, honestly, I've said this a lot throughout the year. The Bucs are a team that is a victim of their own success. And by this point in the season, like, nobody gives a shit what people were saying over the offseason last year. You got to turn it around. And they know they're the only ones that can do that. But there's probably a lot more guys on this team who got to the point that, like, Devin White did, where, maybe you're starting to take some snaps for granted, because when you're putting low effort on tape and people are like, Warren Sapp is on Twitter with 100,000 followers just ripping you a new asshole. How are you going to respond to that? I thought Devin White had a pretty okay game last week. It was kind of quiet by his standards, but
he was running around.
He did clean up a lot of, the effort issues that we talked about. He was showing out for a little while, but, like, some other guys on this team still need that. And unfortunately, Leonard Fournette proved to me that during the game last week, and, just with his attitude this week, that he's one of those guys where his attitude is going to be determined by the team's record. He's not a team first guy. And, like, I feel like that's just some of the motherfuckers Brady's talking about when he says that, our effort has not been there.
Here's a hot take. This is Brady's probably his third or fourth most impressive season as a starting quarterback ever, to me.
It's hard to say
what
that
he's
now.
doing.
It's hard to say that right now. I totally get the point
the
that
way
you're going
he's
for.
going out there and managing this team right now, and the only we would be 1-8 right now without
10
Tom
touchdowns to 1 interceptions. He is he's like 30 passes away from breaking Aaron Rodgers' record for most pass attempts without a pick in the NFL. I think he's at like 360 something, and Rodgers had like 403.
But just the intelligence, like last week, there was a play where one of the running backs ran the wrong way, right? Like it was a busted play. He just immediately killed the play. Like he's out there, he knows that the defense is good enough to win games for them, and he's just the way he's managing it has been exceptional. He's so frustrated, and it is showing at times, but it's not like he's out there berating everybody after everything. It's gotten to the point now where he's like looking at him like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
He's also not trying to do more than he has to.
Yeah,
right? He's not throwing fucking needless picks because he knows they have to catch up on offense, and he knows they desperately have to make a play.
Whoa.
Like, he knows how this team can perform, and he's been in the league for 23 years. He is smart enough to know whether or not I should sit here and make this throw.
Well, it's like what Brian said too. Like when he did, because he's been throwing a lot into the ground. A lot of younger quarterbacks would probably scramble out and then try to see, maybe option C and D.
They're worried about their own stats. They're worried about future contract. They're trying to make plays. He's playing so intelligently, and even last the look he gave Scotty Miller when the ball hit his face. Now Scotty Miller's is a huge part of the reason we were even in that game to win it at the end, because he was making catch after catch after catch.
He was the spark in the offense when they needed it.
He was the spark.
Were you at the game?
I was at the game in my living room watching.
Oh, because the whole stadium, after I think the second catch, the whole stadium, besides me, started chanting, Scotty, Scotty.
Were they
Scotty.
chanting Scotty or Tommy? Because I heard other people say they were saying Tommy.
It was Scotty.
I went in after the first catch that Miller made. I went to my dad and I said, he's going to be the reason the Bucs win this game. And then when he was wide open in the back of the end zone, I was like, oh, and then it hit him in the face mask. I said, okay, maybe not.
Well, because the couple people behind us were like, "We're the Scotty chants now, you assholes!" Like, God, they just jump on.
He dropped it.
Yeah, because they were booing. Everyone was booing Brady the whole game, and it was just Scotty comes out with three catches, and he's like, the whole stadium starts chanting for Scotty, and then he drops, the touchdown in the end zone,
and they boo him.
No, they didn't boo him. It just the whole stadium went silent. Yeah.
I think going to Germany at this point in the season is like perfect for this team, because it can act as a reset, it can act as a refocusing, and it can and they're going to want to play well in Germany. Like there's going to be extra motivation with the fanfare of them being there. It's the first game ever in Germany.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's historic. I gotta hope that the coaching staff and Brady, as the leader of this team, finds a way to make it happen. This is one of those moments in the season where I think it really could change the trajectory, because you're coming out of this 5-5 into the bye in first place in your division. You've got a much easier second half schedule than the first half. It's just, to me, this is the moment. If the Bucs are going to contend, this is it.
Yep, and then they come back to the States and play in Cleveland.
No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
In Cleveland, my bad. I
Yeah,
thought that was
against Jacoby Brissett. And
So we should take that one, then come the following week and go Monday Night Football at home against the Saints. Maybe they'll put Jameis back in, or maybe they'll keep Rhett's brother in.
look, the Saints did not look good this week.
No.
So and the NFL is a hit or miss thing. Then at the Niners, that's going to be a tough one. They probably actually lose that one versus versus the Bengals. I mean, maybe it doesn't get much easier towards the end.
Yeah, it just depends on what team shows up for the Bengals.
But 9-8 is probably good enough to win this division.
And make it to the playoffs, because they go to at the Cardinals. They should win that one on Christmas night. I mean, Brady doesn't care about his kids and his wife anymore, so he can go over to Arizona and party.
He can have some ho-ho-hos.
That's right. And then Panthers at home, New Year's Day. That's a win. And then at the Falcons, just take care of business, and we're in the playoffs. Let's get our picks in.
I just can't believe that Falcons game might come. Whoever wins the division
that's
is
so horrible.
They have to beat the Saints. But if they can win, if they can win their next 3 and get to 7-5, then this team could start doing things. They have a championship caliber defense.
Yeah,
they do. I thought that defense probably played one of their better games.
played by far and away his best game of the season.
Oh, yeah. He finally stepped up.
Vita was getting criticized early in the season, and he has absolutely stepped it up.
What changed this week? You want to know what changed?
Well, Akeem Hicks coming back changed this week. But
bongo.
even the
huge.
past 2 or 3 weeks, Vita's been registering sacks and getting after the quarterback. He's been playing like we've been wanting to see all year.
He's
so
the difference
that's good.
maker, and it's probably because he's finally now getting into game shape.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right, no shit.
Yeah.
Brian, you got your picks?
Yeah, I'm going Bucks laying 2.5.
Hold on, Bucks. Okay.
Miami laying 3.5, and the Titans laying 3. So Bucks 2.5 over Seattle, Miami 3.5 over Cleveland, and Titans 3 over Denver.
3 over Denver. I'm doing the Bucks too. I like the Bucks giving 2.5. I think it's a big game for them. I like the Chargers. Maybe they came back. Same thing they did 2 years before that too. The Chargers are getting 7. I think they take it, and I like Tyler Heineke and Washington Commanders fight. I'm taking plus 10.5 against the Eagles. Brett, do you have any picks over there?
I like the Raiders laying 6 on Indy. I'll take Atlanta over Carolina by 2.5, and then give me Chicago over Detroit by 3.
Oh. All right, Dan, I guess you're not going to, for Detroit, huh? That was it. God damn it, Brett. I come to you for your fucking...
Man.
It's the only reason we have you on the show.
I know. Jesus.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Rhett. We are live tomorrow, twitch.tv/TheBubbaArmy at 6 a.m. Brian, you're coming in to the after show?
Yeah, I'll be there for the I'm Right, You're Left, We're Screwed with Brent and Bubba.
So catch us tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.